Hi Year 10, what we are looking at the moment is the topic of statistics, and we are currently reviewing statistics. We're going to first look at how to calculate the mode. So the mode is the score or outcome that occurs the most, the score that has the highest frequency. Let's look at some examples. So what is the mode of the following set of scores? So our first data set is 1, 4, 2, 5, 2, 3, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2. So the score that occurs the most here is 2. So that means the mode equals 2. For our next set of scores, we have the data set 8, 9, 3, 8, 1, 3, 8, 0, 2, 8, 7, 8. So the score that occurs the most here is 8. So our mode equals 8. For our next data set, we have 1, 3, 6, 4, 6, 6. So the score that occurs the most here is 6. So our mode is 6. And lucky last, our set of scores is 2, 4, 8, 4. And the score that occurs the most here is 4. So our mode is 4. Now moving on to calculating the mean. So the mean is the sum of scores divided by the number of scores, which we also call the average. So you will have seen the mean or the average before, generally in a lot of sporting. So the mean equals the sum of all the scores divided by the number of scores. And for tabulated data, so that's data that's in a frequency distribution table, we find the mean by the sum of the F times X column divided by the sum of the F column. Let's look at some examples. So to calculate the mean of each of the following sets of scores. For A, we have the data set 4, 7, 5, 8, and 6. So to find the mean, we add the scores together, so 4 plus 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6, and we divide by how many scores we have there, which is 5. So when we add our scores together, we get 30. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. So that means that our mean is 6. For the next set of scores, we have 12, 17, 19, 3, 16, 12, 18, and 20. So to calculate the mean, we add the scores together. So 12 plus 17 plus 19 plus 13 plus 16 plus 12 plus 18 plus 20. And we divide this by the number of scores that we have, which is 8. And we get our mean of 15.875. And finally, we want to complete the frequency distribution table and then calculate the mean. So this is a frequency distribution table. So X column is our scores, F column is our frequency, and then our FX column will be our X column times by our F column. So the first thing what we want to do is we want to find the sum of the F column. So we want to add 6 plus 8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 7. And when we do that, we get a total of 30. We then want to find out what our FX columns are. So to do this, we multiply our X and our F column together. So 0 times 6 is 0. 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18, 4 times 7 is 28. We then want to find the sum or the total of the FX column, so we go 0 plus 8 plus 6 plus 18 plus 28 to get a total of 60. To then calculate the mean, it's the sum of the FX column divided by the sum of the F column. So our sum of our FX column was 60 divided by our sum of our F column was 30. So 60 divided by 30 gives us a mean of 2. Now to move on to calculating the range. So the range is the highest score minus the lowest score. So let's look at some examples. We want to find the range with the following data sets. So our first data set is 4, 7, 9, 2, 8, and 1. So we want to identify that our highest score here is 9 and our lowest score here is 1. So to find our range, we go 9 minus 1, which equals 8. So our range in this data set is 8. Now for B, we have the data set 3, 19, 4, 8, 17, 20, and 15. Now our highest score here is 20 and our lowest score is 3. So 20 minus 3 gives us a range of 17. When we're calculating the range, we're finding out how many scores are between our lowest score and our highest score. Okay, so for part C, we have the scores 101, 107, 115, 104, 111, and 119. So our highest score here is 119, minus our lowest score here is 101. So 119 minus 101 equals 18. And finally, our last data set is 9, 7, 10, 0, 13, 8, 2, 6, and 7. So our highest score here is 13 and our lowest score here is 0. So to find our range, we go 13 minus 0, which is 13.